You made it through another week. For some, making it to Friday sounds simple, but it was heavy, it was long, and it asked a lot of you. You showed up for your family, your demanding job, and your daily responsibilities. You executed every external obligation, leaving little reserve for yourself. This empathy gap comes with a steep psychological cost. Prioritizing everyone else while neglecting your own needs leads directly into a cycle of invisible burnout. Breaking that cycle starts with a decision to change the way the next chapter feels by finally prioritizing your internal health. So, if taking care of our minds is so vital, what invisible forces actively stop us from reaching out for the support we need? The reality is, our avoidance is often driven by 3 deeply ingrained psychological myths that sabotage our ability to seek care. These societal misconceptions act as invisible walls, blocking access to mental health support long before we try to pick up the phone. Look at this internal pressure gauge, locked in the red zone. This represents myth 1, assuming therapy is strictly an emergency room. But as the gauge recalibrates into a steady growth chart, it shows how therapy actually functions, managing everyday stress and maintaining personal growth. Then there is the second myth, the belief that asking for help equates to a personal flaw or a lack of resilience. In truth, recognizing a blind spot and reaching out for support takes profound courage. The strongest individuals recognize when they need a different perspective. Treating mental health solely as a crisis response or a personal failing ensures we remain trapped in a state of chronic stress. Even if we overcome the first 2 barriers, a practical concern remains: the fear of losing time in a schedule that is already full. We often picture therapy as this endless, winding staircase disappearing into heavy fog. That is myth number 3, the idea that healing requires a vague commitment with no clear resolution in sight. The evidence points in the opposite direction. Modern approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, are highly structured. This timeline graph illustrates how the process actually looks. It shows how evidence-based models are designed to yield meaningful relief in 8 to 12 targeted sessions. Because modern therapy is focused and time-bound, the path to feeling better becomes a manageable part of a busy life, rather than an open-ended burden. But even after shattering those psychological myths, physical hurdles like driving distances and rigid office hours can get in the way. Coping and healing counseling was engineered specifically to address these exact logistical hurdles. They operate a large telehealth network. A specialized team of over 15 licensed therapists conducts secure, HIPAA-compliant video sessions directly with patients. This map of Georgia illustrates their geographic scale. The connectivity nodes rapidly expand outward, providing direct access to every single one of the state's 159 counties. This universal access brings trauma-informed care and specialized treatments like EMDR directly into your home, regardless of your zip code. By making sessions available on evenings and weekends, therapy fits into your life on your terms. The specialist you need is now in your living room. That leaves a final barrier: the fear that high out-of-pocket costs will make care impossible. Coping and healing counseling operates on the mission that quality mental health care is a right, regardless of a person's income level. Look at this financial ledger isolating the Medicaid copay line item. For plans like Peach State, CareSource, and AmeriGroup, that out-of-pocket cost is exactly $0. Additional financial safety nets are in place, including the acceptance of major commercial insurances like Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, and Aetna, alongside sliding scales for the uninsured. Taking action is straightforward. One call, one click, and one decision can change the trajectory of the next chapter. Coping and healing counseling has addressed the myths, the distance, and the cost. The only thing left is to finally show up for yourself. Your story is not over. The next part can be different.